What does it mean to be heard without shouting? To bend the arc of history without lifting a sword? To ignite revolutions not with rage, but with unwavering love? Martin Luther King Jr. didn't march to be seen. He marched to awaken the sleeping soul of a nation. He didn't preach to be praised. He spoke so truth could echo through the marrow of mankind. And still, in a world built on noise, he whispered and the world shook. Because real power does not scream. It does not crave stage lights or applause. It walks with poise through storms and dares to carry hope like a flame through the shadows. MLK didn't command armies. He didn't hold office. He wielded something greater, conviction so fierce it silenced tanks. He faced fire hoses with a stillness that burned deeper than fire, faced batons with a courage that made the earth itself pause. He did not lead with volume, he led with vision. History bows not to those who roar with empty pride. It bows to those who bleed quietly for a higher cause. They jailed him, they threatened him, they painted him as dangerous because he was. Not dangerous with violence, dangerous with asterisk truth. Because when a man walks into injustice unarmed, yet undefeated, he reminds the world of something terrifying to tyrants. You can cage the body, but you can never imprison a purpose. This is what you've forgotten. You chase noise. You chase algorithms, applause, speed, spotlight. But leadership, true leadership, isn't forged in noise. It is carved in silence when no one's watching, when you stand alone and still refuse to sit down. Martin Luther King understood that greatness doesn't wear a crown. It wears scars. It holds trembling hands and says, "I will walk with you, even if it costs me everything." He didn't fight back with fists. He fought with faith. He weaponized patience. He turned the other cheek, not out of weakness, but because he knew his dream was worth more than ego. And that dream, it didn't die with him. It's waiting in you, in your quiet mornings, in your long nights, in the things you're scared to say, but know you were born to speak. You don't need 1,000,000 followers. You need one unshakable reason. You want to move mountains? Then first learn to stand still when the world tells you to run. You want to leave a legacy? Then let your life echo louder than your words. Martin Luther King Jr. knew the greatest revolutions begin in stillness. Not on podiums, not in parades, but in silent prayers, in aching doubts, in moments when your heart screams, "I can't do this," and you answer, "Yes, I must." That's the secret. He didn't wake up to be a hero. He woke up to do what was right, every single day, without fail, without excuse, even when his knees buckled under the weight of history. And that's what separates the remembered from the forgotten. Not talent, not luck, but the will to keep showing up, even when the path vanishes beneath your feet. Because you were not born for comfort, you were born for consequence. MLK didn't choose the easy road. He chose the necessary one, and every step he took carved a trail for millions to follow. You want change? Then stop waiting for permission. Stop begging the world to notice you. Start building something so sacred, so soul deep, that even if no one sees it, you still won't stop. Because truth doesn't need to trend, it needs to stand. They told King to wait, to slow down, to go back. He looked them in the eye and said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." One sentence, no theatrics, no stunts, just truth, calm, sharp, immortal. That's how you command a generation, not by overpowering, but by outlasting. And here's the part no one teaches. Leadership isn't about being first, it's about being faithful. Faithful to the work, faithful to the voice inside that whispers, "Keep going," even when they mock you, even when they misunderstand you, even when they try to erase you. MLK led not because he had no fear, but because he refused to obey it. And now, you've got two choices. Follow the noise or follow the calling. One will get you likes, the other will get you legacy. Choose wisely. Every generation is offered a mirror, a moment where it must choose. Do we reflect the hate, or do we absorb it, transform it, and reflect light? Martin Luther King Jr. didn't rise by matching the world's anger. He rose by transcending it, Not through louder fists, but through deeper roots. They beat him, they jailed him, they threatened his family, his future, his very breath. And still, he chose peace. Not because he was weak, but because his purpose was stronger than revenge. He understood what most still miss, that power is not how loud you roar. It's how long you can stay silent and focused while chaos begs you to scream. You want to command history? Then stop chasing validation. Stop dancing for applause and start living by conviction. History remembers the ones who didn't flinch, the ones who held the line when others broke, the ones who could have burned the world in rage, but instead lit a candle and said, "I'll wait, I'll walk, I'll win." Quiet power, unshakable vision. That's how King moved mountains. Not with rage, but with rhythm, with marching feet and steady eyes, with sermons and silence, with presence so solid, so undeniable, that even hatred had to stop and stare. He didn't need armor, he was the armor. You don't need to scream to matter. You don't need to break to lead. You need to remember who you are when the world forgets you. And if you want to build a future, you better be ready to suffer for a truth bigger than yourself. MLK walked into fire not to become famous, but to prove that fire couldn't kill faith. So the next time life hits you, when you're ignored, overlooked, dismissed, when your vision feels too heavy and your heart starts whispering, "Maybe I'm not enough," I want you to remember this. They didn't believe in him either. Not at first. They mocked him. They doubted him. Until the day came when the same voices that tried to silence him had to live in a world shaped by his echo. Let that be your mission, to walk so boldly, to endure so quietly, to lead so relentlessly that your absence leaves more noise than your presence ever could. Rise loud, lead quiet. Let history follow, because that's what King did, and now it's your turn.